Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Spark, the revolutionary new science of exercise and the brain. When we talk about exercise, we tend to pay attention to the kinds of exercise that are best for keeping fit and losing weight. But we rarely spend a second to wonder if exercise has something to do with our mental health. Let me ask you a question. What kind of exercise do you think contributes the most to our mental health? Some of you might think it's running. Well, running is great. You can enjoy the scenery while running and that helps you feel better. Some think it's swimming. And sure, water sports help people relaxed. But unfortunately, neither is the right answer. A study published in The Lancet, a leading British medical journal, showed that tennis and other swing sports, team activities, cycling, and aerobic gymnastics are the sports that most effectively change people's mental states. The study involved a sample of 1.2 million people who had at least some emotional problems such as stress and depression. The researchers analyzed all possible relationships between age, income, marital status, physical and mental health, and the exercises done by all participants. What they found was that those who exercised had significantly better mental health than those who did not. The results from this study surprised many by showing that exercise can not only help you lose weight and stay in shape, it can also improve your mental health. In fact, in his research on the relationship between exercise, the body, and the mind, the author of this book, John Ratey, discovered many connections early on in his treatment of patients with the most complex mental health issues. John Ratey is an associate clinical professor at Harvard Medical School. He is also an internationally recognized expert in neuropsychiatry and a leading expert on the connection between exercise and the brain. In 1997, he received the honorary title of Best Doctor in America. The Spark movement that he advocates gained global popularity and swept the United States, South Korea, China, and many other countries. The movement attracted coverage from many mainstream media outlets such as The New York Times, The Washington Post, and Men's Health. He also served as an ambassador in 2011 for the Active Kids program, which was launched across the United States and was honored by then First Lady Michelle Obama. This book is co-authored by Eric Hagerman. He is a former editor of the magazines Outdoor and Popular Science, and his work was featured in the Best American Sports Writing in 2004. This book is based on more than 20 years of case studies and experimental research. It summarizes John Ratey's discovery of the secret connections between exercise and the brain. As he argues, the brain is more than a commander that just gives orders and has no connection with the outside world. Instead, the brain is inextricably linked to our body movements. He shows us that exercise is a natural brain booster. It can cure many diseases and also has a preventative effect. In addition to improving memory and attention deficit disorder, exercise can also remove stress and anxiety, balance hormones in women, and make us less fearful in the fight against aging. How does exercise affect the brain? And what kind of changes does exercise cause in the brain? In this Bookie, we will answer these questions from the following 3 aspects. Part 1. Exercise improves cognitive ability. Part 2. Exercise improves mental health. Part 3. How to exercise more rationally. Let's start with Part 1. Exercise improves the cognitive function of the brain. Rodolfo Linares, a neurophysiologist at New York University, suggests that only moving creatures need a brain. He uses the example of a tiny jellyfish-like animal called a sea squirt, which is a type of coral polyps. This little creature is born with a simple spinal cord and a brain of 300 neurons. It must find a nice patch of coral within 12 hours of birth, or else it will die. So, it begins to move around in the sea. Once it puts down its roots on a coral, it will never leave. The sea squirt then eats its own brain, because it is now settled on the coral. It doesn't need to move again, and it doesn't even need a brain. From this perspective, the sea squirt looks much more like a plant than an animal. Rodolfo Linares